who I haven't had the chance of meeting. My name is Matthew Brannelly, and I coordinate what we call the NFP Hub. There's a couple of slides up behind me. The Hub was created about 2 years ago from a network of individuals and professionals that I knew that could add value to the not-for-profit community. My background in the not-for-profit world has come out of fundraising, building organisations around the community organisation space, and normally raising money for a purpose. 3 or 4 years ago, I uncovered that perhaps we could help the NFPs, in addition to raising money for them, also with their operational efficiencies. And that's where the NFP Hub was created. And in fact, Nigel Harris is with us today from the MATA. I met in my early positioning, my journey about how we could help not-for-profits. This is let's have a coffee to Nigel turns into lunch with my 30 dearest friends. So thank you, Nigel, for taking my phone call. So just a bit more about the Hub. So we're all about efficiencies for not-for-profits. One of my early clients was Deb over at Carers Queensland, which was a key driver in the NDIS space, and they grew to support the NDIS infrastructure some years ago, which meant they went from an office in Brisbane to having 7 or 8 regional offices throughout Queensland. And it was Deb who said to me that if she could save $1, that was far more effective than trying to raise 3. And she was kind enough to write something that basically just said that story. And as a fundraiser and an event organiser, that really resonated. That the CEO could see $1 saved versus $3 made. I'll take the savings next week because it's a much lower cost to an organisation than trying to raise the money. And that's really been the driver for for what we're doing at the Hub. And it's all about, our message to NFPs is be open to new ways of doing things. NFPs are a slow-moving beast by their nature. They're risk-averse, they're under-resourced, and they don't act quickly, which is quite different to the world of SMEs, which is where I come from, where we think, act, shoot, and move on. That's not the culture of working within the NFP space. And another day we'll have a session on the psychology of NFPs, which will help us all understand the environment in which they operate. But it's all about sharing expertise from the private sector back to the NFP sector. And there's lots of good ideas. The Hub over the years has grown to a whole combination of experts, and every month the network grows. And this is just an example of how we bring our team to the table. And when I meet a CFO typically or a CEO at an NFP, and I look at what they're doing and where they're at and what their major cost centres are, I can normally identify from experience where I think the Hub can help. And the big ones are in the dark red, electricity telcos, which are core, fixed, almost cost, copies and equipment, property maintenance, cyber security and IT. They're the hot numbers, or the hot services that all the NFPs have, no matter whether they're very small or very big. Go back one. And today we're working with there's probably 4 NFPs I'm currently working with at the moment. One's an NDIS disability services company, turns over about $30 million a year. They're probably the savings of $100,000 to $200,000 a year, which is not significant, but it's still valuable to that organisation in terms of what they can do. There's private hospitals and local councils where the savings will be $1 to $2 million.